Roger Lee, tell us, what is Re-Awakening?
Basically, Lea Village was, and Re-Awakening Lea Village started off, it wasn't even a project. I remember I came to you about 10 years ago, mentioned about it, and then it sort of got dropped and, it lost steam. And then I saw a flyer going around through our door from the local council who was talking about, Chardin, Lea Village and the Glebe. And I thought, Lea Village is still mentioned, but it's still not identified as Lea Village.
Because when you first contacted me, you did an article for me, didn't you? About where's Lea Village, where's Lea Hall, where's Kids Green?
That's right,
Because they're all kind of interchangeable terms, aren't they?
That's right, yeah. And the thing is, if you come from outside of the area, it's categorised as being Kids Green because Kids Green is on the map. But it's not. I mean, as you said yourself years ago, Lea Village was there way before Kids Green, but it's sort of like an identity that's been lost. Now, of course, through this flyer, I got in touch with John Cotton, local Labour councillor, and he sort of like took it to Real Access, and then just sort of like blew up from there. And Guy Collier and his people got in touch with it, and it's just, and I suppose that's the reason why we're here today, because it's gone from something small, which I thought it'd just be, and to finally start to try and hopefully get an identity for Lea Village. People like Ayesha, she knows it as Lea Village. Other people that have been there for years and years know it as Lea Village. But, the younger people probably still know it as Kids Green. Which, of course, it isn't.
And for those of us of a certain age, and you're a bit younger than us, but, you still have got that feeling for the old names. We're losing old names. Ashton's going. Derry 10's going. I mean, you go down Derry 10 High Street, and in Derry 10 High Street is South Birmingham College, and they call it Digbeth Campus. No, it's the Derry 10 campus. Right, it's in High Street, Derry. And we're and you're right, it's not just about the inner city areas. It's a big outer city area that... The identity, the name, you take the name away, you take something special from us, don't you?
Yeah. And of course, people have lived here for years. I mean, it's what 1275 is the earliest recorded time, so that's a long time that people have lived in the area, and then it's been known as it is. But
how chuffed are you? I mean, it's got to be 10 years since you first contacted me, and you had me looking, scouring old maps. I had them all out, finding out where Lea Village was, where Lea Hall was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm over the moon, to be honest, because it's gone further than I ever expected it to be, and I think it's more to the thanks of John Cotton approaching Real Access, and then, of course, we've got the Heritage Lottery funding and Alcoa and Birmingham City Council.
Now, Alcoa is so important because they're the major employer locally, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, And, of course, I mean, they've just funded the Christmas tree and the lights and everything else that they do every year for the Lea Village.
Guy, what is Real Awakening? Tell me all about it, if you would.
Well, the project is working with local people to build a community archive to really kind of capture what Lea Village is and use that as a way to reflect on what Lea Village should be as well. So we're working with local people to create this using oral histories, building a collection of artefacts that people want to donate, and also making a film. And Real Access are working with local people to produce a film about the area.
Tell me a bit more about Real Access.
Real Access are a community film organisation based at the Pump, and so yes, they're leading on all the film production work.
So the Pump is?
And the Pump is on Kitts Green Road. It's a youth centre based there, and that's been our base for the project, although we're working with other organisations around the area as well.
Now, how did your organisation come into being, and how is it developing?
Well, I work for an organisation called QSR2, and we're a not-for-profit research group. And we're really interested in kind of the idea of communities and where they are, how they function. And a big part of that is about community history. And so it was a great opportunity for us to learn about a history of Birmingham that has largely been forgotten.
And very importantly, I mean, as Roger was saying, and I'm sure as Ayesha will talk about, and with my great-granny's story, this is now a third and fourth generation estate. We tend to think about, they're still new, Lea Hall and Lea Village and Chardin, but they're not new. They've been there for 3-4 generations now.
Yeah, and it's amazing when we go and talk to people and we interview people and we meet people who have lived there since the first houses went up. And we meet people who can remember the fields that used to be all around and they remember the Forest of Arden and how that became Chelmsley Wood. And then we meet younger people
The Bluebell
as well.
Woods.
Yes, exactly.
The Bluebell Woods.
And then you meet younger people who have a very different understanding of the locality. And it's brilliant to kind of bring all those stories together and restitch those
and for an outsider, this is very important because you could drive through Lea Hall, Kitts Green, out to Chelmsley Wood, and it would just seem an undifferentiated mass of housing. But it is differentiated, isn't it?
Absolutely. And one of the things we always ask people is, how do we know that we're in Lea Village? Because there aren't any signs. And so one of the things we really want to do is kind of map out those boundaries. And see where people feel that...
Can we do Derry 10 after Lea Village? And Ashton and Vauxhall and Brookfields
if
and
HLF want to sponsor us again,
listen, I've got a list of names that are dying out so we can do this. The Derry 10 kids over there, ain't you, Dave? He wants Derry 10 brought back. Ayesha, we heard talk there about Real Awakening. How are you, late?
I'm fine, thank you.
Tell us how you got involved with this project. Are you a Lea Village girl?
I actually live in one of the original houses on the road of Lea Village.
Really?
The actual last house in the original houses of the
village.
And
that was the hamlet, and Lea Hall was up the road, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And I was very proud to move in there in 1992 after visiting the Bluebell Woods for many, many years, originally from Castle Bromwich.
Yeah.
But I've lived there for 22 years now. Now, what I'd like to say is that this project is very, very important to Lea Village.
Yes.
I'm trying my best to get some of the older generation to do some of the interviews and give us some of the history of Lea Village.
And that's bringing the generations together, isn't it, Ayesha?
Yes. We also are going to appeal for some of the youngsters of Lea Village to get involved in this project and possibly bring, as you say, the generation gap together. Work with us, come and do something with this project and give the village a name, a better name, rather than the negativeness, because we have to mention that.
Yes.
That is now.
And this is the problem that many estates, many inner city areas, they are branded unfairly in most cases, in the great majority, as being negative connotations, and they forget all the hard-working, decent, respectable people that live in these neighbourhoods.
Exactly. Well, after Christmas there's going to be a project where there's going to be lots for youngsters and anybody of any generation really that belong to Lea Village to get involved in. We've got films coming up, we want some poets, we want the artists, we want anybody who can do anything to help this project. Please everybody get involved, because that's what we need. Come to the pump, come to Real Access, and, you know, just get involved. And we're thoroughly enjoying all the interviews, and we want to thank Ken Reynolds as well, an 86-year-old original tenant of Lea Village Road, for his wonderful interview and his information that he gave us as well the other day.
Guy, what's the message then? How can we say what's the message after that clarion call for Lea Village from Ayesha?
Well,
what would you like to add?
I think that is the message. I mean, it is... For me, going into Lea Village, it's just been a wonderful experience, and there's such a strong sense of community there and such an amazing history, and it encapsulates so much of the good things that's happened to Birmingham over the years, and we really want to bring that to the fore, and some of the stories we're getting at people's experiences.
So what should people do?
So we'd love people to get in contact with their stories, or if they'd like to volunteer in any way as researchers or filmmakers, so they can contact us at The Pump on Kitts Green Road or in Lea Village, or they can have a look at the Real Access website, which is realaccess.org.uk, or they can call Real Access on 0121 675 8391.
And looking forward to talking to you again in the new year, perhaps with some of the...
And we have Lea Village Facebook website as well.
Lea Village Facebook.
Very important.
And having a chat with you in the new year, perhaps with some of the youngsters and some of the older people. Come on. Roger, anything you need to say?
That's. I mean, Guy and Ayesha have said a lot, basically. But that's it, visit the website, leavillage.co.uk, to keep up with events. Also, the links on there for Facebook and that, and Real Access and everybody else. And just join in and just help us to bring back the identity of Lea Village.
And Lea is spelt?
L-E-A.
Not L-E-E, it's L-E-A. You'll be Carl Chinn on BBC.